Hello friends, welcome back to Realtor Jamie. I'm your expert at all things real estate, and today we're going to talk about a hot topic, literally a hot topic, solar panels. This is a very divisive topic in real estate. I have opinions. You've probably heard that solar panels will decrease your energy costs and even increase your home's value. But I wanted to give you my firsthand experience with what happened when sellers put on solar panels and then decide to sell. Stay tuned, make sure to like, subscribe, and I will tell you the rest of the story. Okay, let's start with myth number one, the myth of instant value. I think the top reason that sellers put on solar panels is because they think it's going to increase their home's value. It's kind of cool, it's kind of trendy, that buyers are gonna just automatically pay more for this. And that is not true, 100% not true. Appraisers don't give you dollar per dollar credit. So if you spend $20,000 on solar panels, you don't automatically get $20,000 increase in your sales price. The same thing goes with really any repair. It's not dollar for dollar. So just know that when you're selling your home. But then the demand for solar panels is smaller and it's kind of niche. Not all buyers want them, nor do they want them maintenance. So here's where this comes in. If buyers have two houses to look at and one has solar panels with $30,000 and one doesn't, and they like them both equally, I'm willing to bet they're going to go with the house and make an offer on the house without the solar panels. So actually it's going to decrease your value because then you may not have multiple offers coming in. It automatically will take maybe half of the buyers that are interested in looking right now off the market. They don't want to look at your house with solar panels. Now, if they're fully paid off, I think that's a different story. So if they're fully paid off, you've paid them all off, and now the buyer just gets to reap the benefits of it, I think that's easier to sell. And then you have to think too, like energy savings versus sales price. It may save you money monthly, but if you're not gonna stay long enough to recoup the cost of it all, then you're really front loading an investment that doesn't make sense. So we have a buyer right now who's making an offer on a property with solar panels. So I got a copy of the contract from the company, and so they put the solar panels on for about $48,000. Now in Illinois, there's a tax credit of about 30%. So let's assume they paid $33,000 for the solar panels after their income tax credit, but now they've decided to sell. They put these solar panels on 2 years ago. So now they want to sell. So now our buyers immediately have taken their remaining balance off the cost of their house. They're saying, we like the house, but we don't want to make your decision, we don't want to make your financial decision ours. So immediately it lowered the value of that home by the remaining cost of the solar panels. So does it add value to your home? Sure doesn't seem like it. So the second part that could be an issue is the loan versus lease problem. So if you lease the panels, the buyer has to take over that lease agreement. So the same agreement and all these amortized payments, the buyer has to agree to take over. Here's a situation that happened to us. We had buyers that were buying a house and they were a little stretched on the mortgage. They fully qualified for their mortgage, but when the solar panel company ran their credit, they said your credit score isn't high enough to qualify to take over the lease. So while they qualified for a mortgage with 100% top of the line mortgage lender, it was the solar panel company who said your credit score needs to be a little higher for you to take over this lease. So they had to cancel the deal, killed the deal. So we were offering around $435,000 on this property. I just looked it up in the MLS to see what it actually closed for, and it closed for $425,000 with a different buyer. So that means those sellers, because of their choice to put on solar panels in the last year before they sold, actually lost money on their house because our buyers were willing to give them more money. But the solar panel company was the one that said, you're not qualified. This is bananas, absolutely bananas. I can't believe that this is what is happening, that a solar panel company can outweigh a mortgage lender. So our buyers were crushed. They were so sad. They found another house and that one did not have solar panels. Another thing to consider is the age of the roof. If you're gonna put solar panels on an old roof, that's also bananas. That's just crazy. Because it damages the house. A lot of times the roof companies say, we won't warranty the roof anymore if you put solar panels on. You're literally drilling holes into the roof and the decking. So that makes no sense. We had solar panels for another buyer that seller put it on like a 20-year-old roof. What in the world? Man, I should get those solar panel people on my team because they must be so convincing in sales that these sellers are making crazy decisions about this. So you have to look at the roof age. If it's an old roof, absolutely not. Do not do it. It's terrible idea. Because it costs the buyer then money to remove the solar panels that you put on. There's also maintenance costs with that. Technology changes. So now these solar panels, which were cutting edge technology, in 5 years from now, they might not even work, at the highest level. They say as the battery drains, you're gonna get maybe 80% out of them. So also another reason to consider. So if your roof is old, I would not get solar panels. So another reason you should not get solar panels if you're thinking about selling is that perception is everything. Not everyone wants solar. You may love it, and I know those salesmen, man, are they good. But it doesn't help you sell your house. So if you were thinking about selling in 3 to 5 years, just don't do it. Please do not put solar panels on your house. I know I'm preaching to the choir. I know there's other realtors out there in the chat who are going to agree with me. It is a terrible decision. It makes things more complicated. So now we have to say you owe, let's say $25,000. In this case, we have this week, $38,000. $38,000 that the buyers, what the sellers owe for the solar panels. This is insane to me. I did the math, and if your average electric bill is like $150, you've just prepaid for over 20 years of electric bills. Listen, I love the earth. I cut up my pop cans, my soda cans. I'm an 80s kid. I'm Gen X through and through. But please, if you're thinking about selling your house, do not put on solar panels. It's a terrible idea. So before you jump into solar panels, please, it's not a golden ticket to a higher price for your home. Do the math, talk to a local real estate professional. I am well connected with agents across the world. If you need to find someone locally, message me and I can help you find that person. But you need to understand the full financial picture. If you found this helpful, like and subscribe. This is Realtor Jamie, your local real estate expert, here to help you.